Hello, everyone, and welcome to AI Explorer Journeys, our podcast where we navigate the world of artificial intelligence. I'm your host, Sarah, and joining me today is my co host, Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, everyone.
We're often told AI is a game changer for businesses, but widespread adoption is still lagging. Historically, general purpose technologies like the printing press or electricity took decades to truly transform economies. AI seems to be following a similar path, as evidenced by a striking statistic. An Accenture study found that only about 8% of large enterprises have successfully scaled AI across their operations. That's a surprisingly low number.
Indeed, Sarah. That 8% figure really underscores that while enterprise AI has huge potential, most companies are still in what I call pilot purgatory. They're experimenting in limited areas, but few have managed to integrate AI broadly. The current expectation is that broad adoption might not happen until around 2026, 2027, meaning we're still very much in the early stages of this transformation.
That 8% figure is stark. What are the core reasons, the fundamental obstacles, preventing companies from moving beyond these pilots and truly scaling their AI deployments across the organization?
Well, we can break it down into 6 major hurdles. The first two are what I consider the go divided by no-go gates: data compliance and liability. Without clearing these, companies simply won't roll out AI broadly. If an AI model needs to use sensitive customer data, you can bet the legal and security teams have to sign off, and that's a huge step.
So, these sound like the non negotiables, the safety checks. If companies can't ensure data privacy or aren't clear on who's accountable when an AI system makes a mistake, they won't even start. But what about the business case itself? Does AI always prove its worth?
That brings us to the next 2 hurdles, which are all about economic justification, value measurement, and KPI alignment. It's often really hard to quantify the return on investment. If you can't pin down the ROI, it's tough to justify scaling up. And then there's the issue of aligning AI with existing key performance indicators, or KPIs. If deploying AI changes how work gets done, you might need to change your performance metrics too. Companies worry if the new system will help them hit their targets or accidentally cause them to miss them, creating internal conflict.
I see. So, a company needs to clearly see the financial benefit, or at least how AI enhances their existing business model, to invest heavily. If AI doesn't directly boost the bottom line or align with how they measure success, the motivation just isn't there. What about the practical ability to implement it? Are companies actually ready for this technology?
That leads to the final 2 hurdles, which are about internal capability, talent shortage, and organizational readiness. There's a major lack of people who understand both the AI tech and the specific business domain. And beyond that, many organizations just don't have the necessary IT infrastructure, the right workflows, or a culture that really embraces data-driven decisions. You can't just drop an AI system into an old-school organization and expect magic.
So, to sum up, it's like a chain with 6 critical links. Compliance and liability are the absolute preconditions. Value measurement and KPI alignment ensure the business makes sense. And talent and organizational readiness dictate if a company can actually execute. If any link is weak, the entire scaling effort stalls, explaining why so many enterprise AI initiatives remain in pilot purgatory.
That's a perfect way to put it. It really is a chain, and every link has to be strong.
Now, let's pivot to the consumer side. This year has seen immense excitement for AI, yet beyond chatbots, we haven't witnessed a true killer app for the general public. People imagined all sorts of smart generative AI applications, but they just haven't materialized in a groundbreaking way.
That's right, Sarah. It's a common observation, and there are several fundamental factors holding back consumer AI innovations. Firstly, user time is a fixed resource. We all have only 24 hours a day. AI can't magically create more leisure time for you, nor can it enjoy entertainment on your behalf. No matter how smart it can't watch TikTok for you in a way that gives you enjoyment. This sets a hard limit on how AI can truly engage with us.
That makes perfect sense. Some things humans just won't delegate. No one's paying an AI to binge watch Netflix and then somehow transfer that feeling to them. But what about AI's potential to save times us time? Isn't that something consumers would value? Why aren't we seeing more apps focused on that?
Well, this brings us to what I call the time-saving paradox for consumer apps. Many successful apps, think social media or streaming, monetize through engagement. The more time you spend scrolling or watching, the more ads they can show you, or the more in-app purchases you might make. If an AI makes things times 2 times efficient, say, it summarizes an article in 10 seconds, it reduces your time in the app, potentially cutting into the company's revenue.
That's a fascinating and almost counterintuitive point. An AI that's too helpful could actually kill an app's business model if that model relies on us wasting time. So, engagement-based platforms might actively resist efficiency-boosting AI. Beyond that, what about getting new AI apps into users' hands in the first place?
Exactly. And that leads to the next challenge, distribution and discovery. In the mobile era, the entry points are tightly controlled by tech giants, the operating system, the app stores, the default browser. It's incredibly hard for a new standalone AI app to break out and reach millions of users when Google, Apple, and Meta own all the channels. User acquisition is a huge, expensive hurdle.
Right, the gatekeepers have a stronghold, making it tough for newcomers. Even if an app times could times get through, are there technical barriers to AI truly becoming a seamless assistant across everything we do?
Absolutely. We lack a universal API or protocol that would let an AI agent operate across multiple apps seamlessly. For good security reasons, an AI can't just click buttons and fetch data from any app on your behalf. This means that while conceptually you could have an AI assistant do multi-step tasks across all your apps, in practice, it just hits walls, permission requests, sandbox restrictions, a total lack of interoperability.
Got it. That makes the vision of a truly unified AI assistant seem pretty far off. And then there's the cost. Running advanced AI models is expensive, but we as consumers have been conditioned to expect apps to be free or very cheap. How do you square that circle?
You often can't, and that's the final major challenge. Monetizing consumer AI is tricky. Most people won't pay explicitly by the query, so you have to bundle it into a subscription or connect it to a transaction like an AI that helps you shop where the retailer pays a commission. This limits the standalone viability of many AI apps and is a big reason why we see AI mostly as nice-to-have add-on features within existing products rather than something truly revolutionary.
So, it's a perfect storm of limited user attention, business model conflicts, closed ecosystems, integration issues, and unclear monetization. All these factors result in consumer AI features mostly appearing as add-ons rather than the standalone killer apps we might have imagined. This leads us to question, how might consumer AI truly break through and create new value?
Given these constraints, one idea gaining traction is that the future isn't about capturing more of your time, but about making better use of your time. In other words, instead of trying to keep you glued to the screen for 5 extra minutes, future AI should focus on increasing what some call the yield per minute of your time.
That's a refreshing perspective, moving from an attention economy to a value economy, so to speak. It implies that AI's ultimate goal isn't just to entertain or distract, but to genuinely amplify our capabilities within the time we have. But how does AI enable that practically?
One key concept is parallel AI agents working in the background for you. Imagine you're relaxing, watching your favorite show meanwhile. An AI agent, with your permission, is handling a bunch of mundane tasks on your behalf. It could be processing your refund requests, rebooking a flight that got canceled, balancing your budget, or sorting through unread emails.
That sounds amazing, like I could get my errands done literally while I sleep or have fun. It's the ultimate life hack. Outsource all the boring stuff to an AI. How would this parallel processing fundamentally change our daily interaction with technology?
Exactly. This is one vision of how consumer AI could deliver immense value without demanding more screen time. Another related idea is to transform content consumption into direct actions, sometimes called content as a transaction. For example, if you're watching a cooking video, you could, in that moment, just tell an AI, order me the ingredients for this recipe, and it's done. No need to switch apps or make a shopping list.
Fascinating. So instead of passively consuming, AI could bridge the gap between content and action, making our digital experiences incredibly productive without interrupting the flow. This isn't about new apps, but about a new way of interacting with times, everything asterisk. Are there any early signs of this happening, even in small ways?
We see glimpses of it in those tiny pain points solutions. Think about AI in your keyboard app, rephrasing your sentences on the fly, or real-time translation during a call, or the AI in your camera that can identify a plant. None of these are killer apps, but they are AI features dissolving into our existing workflows, meeting us where we are, and subtly boosting the yield per minute of those specific interactions.
So the key takeaway is, for consumer AI, the path forward is not in vying for our attention in the same old way. It's about embedding itself so deeply and helpfully that it amplifies what we can do with our time, often in the background, making each minute count for more.
Exactly. It's a fundamental shift in philosophy.
So to wrap this up, on the enterprise side, it seems AI has enormous promise, but companies have to navigate those 6 big hurdles. It really feels like a matter of when, not if, and once those organizational barriers are cleared, the ROI is much more straightforward.
I agree. B2B AI will likely flourish first because the deployment is more controlled. On the consumer side, the lack of a breakthrough app isn't a failure of the tech itself, but a result of all those structural challenges we discussed: time, business models, closed ecosystems. It's just a much more complex puzzle to solve.
But the future for consumer AI doesn't need to copy the past. Instead of competing for our attention, its breakthrough will come from delivering more value times within times the same attention span, making each minute count more, doing things for us in parallel, and freeing up our time.
Well said. B2C AI might take longer to reshape our habits, but when it does, it could completely redefine what productivity and convenience mean in our daily lives, not by gluing us to our devices more, but by truly extending what we can accomplish.
The journey of AI reveals a tale of 2 distinct paths. One, navigating the structured complexities of the enterprise, meticulously clearing regulatory and economic hurdles to unlock tangible efficiencies. The other, grappling with the fluid, often paradoxical landscape of human behavior and established digital ecosystems. While enterprise AI's broad impact is a matter of methodical progression, consumer AI is poised for a more profound, yet subtle revolution. It will not demand more of our precious attention, but rather, by working invisibly in the background and integrating intelligence into every interaction, it will quietly redefine what it means to be productive, connected, and truly in control of our time, transforming our digital lives not through groundbreaking apps, but through an omnipresent, intelligent amplification of our every minute. All right, that's it for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and thank you, Kevin, for the great discussion. Before we wrap up, let me remind everyone today's discussion reflects personal views only, not investment advice. Please consult professionals before making financial decisions.
That's right. Thanks for tuning in to the AI Explorer podcast. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's all for today. See you next time.